Hello everybody, my name is Zen and welcome to my first impressions of Shadowkin, which is yet again another one of these vampire survivor type games. This one, not so much a clone. You'll see, it seems a little different, but as with all of my first impressions, this is as far as I've seen. I've seen a couple screenshots and usually a trailer, and then this is it. So you're getting my genuine first impressions of this, and what I could tell is it's very vampire survivors like with some changes. So we got a couple of characters it looks like we could choose from here. Can I do it with the controller? I can. Let's do it with the controller. So we got Leoki, the Warblade Warden. Okay. Kit, the masterful marksman. And Kit the okay, so there's two on right. I forgot about this. So this is another thing about this game. It is, you could play local co-op. I don't know if there's online co-op, but you have two characters that you're choosing from. And if you're playing single player, then what happens is it's an AI controlled second guy that follows you around, which is kind of cool. So let's see, this guy's got Cyclone. Inflict damage upon all nearby enemies every 0.4 seconds for 2 seconds. That's pretty cool. Trick shot is shoots an arrow towards the nearest enemy, which bounces one time. Let's go ahead and pick that one, and yeah, we'll just let them go that. We can see the skill trees here. Oh my goodness. If that's not overwhelming at first blush, I don't know what is. We can't get it though, so that's fine. We will go back. Achievements. Begin conquest. Let's see what this is about. Music's pretty good. I like the art style as well. So level ups await. Press Y. Level up. Okay. Glint of steel. Slash outward in 2 random directions, inflicting 1 stack of bleed, 7% chance. Bleed. I like that it tells you like what it is. Inflicts 2 bleed stacks. Damage. 2 times. Bleed stacks damage every second for 6 seconds. Blizzard sigil creates an immobile sigil around yourself after 2 seconds. The sigil detonates, damaging enemies, inflicting 3 stacks of slow. Ball lightning launches a projectile in a random direction that turns to travel in the same direction you're moving, expiring after 10 seconds, and then trick shot. I'm just gonna do glint of steel. Let's get some. Oh, interesting. So what do we have here? We have Cyclone, Sub-Zero Surge, Frost Sculpt, and Flamethrower. So I had got that upgrade, but do I choose from those? No. Okay, so those are just like what I start with, rather. Very interesting. Oh, okay, I see. This is how we're going to choose our difficulty here. So we have normal or difficult. Let's just do normal and see how the game starts with that. Interesting, it starts with a level up, but I like that, you know. There's also a bunch of controls in the bottom right, so you can like tell your dude to follow you or not. Area completed. Okay. Oh, okay. So it's like a per area thing. Right. So chase furthest, chase the nearest, follow player. Let's go follow player. Yeah. Each room, also known as an area, increases how many waves of enemies spawn, starting at 1 and going all the way up to 9 waves. Let's go furious, baby. To make it difficult. I'm immediately gonna suck on this first wave here and just like die. It'd be very embarrassing. Do I have dashes? Okay, A to dash. That dash feels really good. So far it feels kind of tight. I like that a lot. If your ally is being AI controlled, they cannot take damage. Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Let's go normal on this one. Not timid. I like this so far. It's an interesting take. It's definitely different. And the reason why I like looking at so many of these Vampire Survivor clones, so there's a lot of them, is simply that you get really interesting opinions from people. Without ever having to talk to the developer, you get an idea of what they believe about Vampire Survivors or the design of it. Game seems a little, it's not choppy, it's just like the performance is a little odd, and I'm not sure if that's because I'm using a controller or because I'm recording, so we're just gonna leave it at what it is right now. But you can see in the top left, their FPS counter is counting 60 FPS, so who knows. All right, what do we got here? Cursed Onyx. Skills tagged as random have a 2% chance to inflict one of the following: bleed, burn, or poison. Water Sprite. Puddles and standing still. I ain't gonna be standing still. Tailwind. Dash speed is increased by 12% for every unique dash skill that you own. Now let's get this Onyx. Interesting. Should we? Let's see here. Hero chance 7%, 8%. Risk. Reward. Shopkeeper will visit with 9 items for sale, or with 5 items. Well, I think we're good with it. I'm not gonna like over risk it. Just like end up dying. I just want to see how far we get here. Kind of get a good look at the game. But yeah, like any change that you make from an original formula, in a game that is ostensibly, you know, taking after it, says what you think about that design choice that the original creator made. So like some games do this thing where you have like the multiple levels, or multiple zones that you're going through. We leveled up. And then some are just like one big map, or some is like a little tiny arena, and like that tells you what the new designer thinks about that old design. If it's a big arena, it means like you're kind of locked into an area, and they didn't really like the big giant maps that you were constantly wandering around Vampire Survivors. Whereas with this, it's like one area into another. They maybe believe that there should be a little bit more of a break in between each thing. And it provides a new set of challenges each room, and that room can also, you can up the ante or you don't have to. And I think that that's an interesting take on it. Ionic Voltwing. Ghostblade sounds cool. We're not going to read through all of these because these games always have so many skills, but let's go with Ghostblade. Rapidly attack around yourself while dashing. Does that take away my other one? So I can banish one of these skills. Ghostblade, rapidly attack, molten volley. Oh, player 1, player 2. I see. I've been getting player 2 stuff, which is my duders, and now player 1 stuff. Let's get Ghostblade. Gotcha. I see what's going on now. That felt a little unclear, and the fact that it was doing player 2 first was odd. Dark Lord's Blessing, Shimmer Star, Rare Ribs, Dragon Tail, and Mammon's Contract. What is that? Number of currently held coins is increased by 100%, but your max HP is reduced by 40%. That's really interesting. I like the bleed damage because we're using bleeds. Skills gain a 5% chance to critically hit. Critical hit inflicts double damage. Let's go with a crit. I think that crits are just generally fairly good. Let's up the ante here. I'm enjoying this though. Like now we're getting kind of bullet hell, which I like. I kind of feel like the choice of the different rooms thing is interesting, but does it jive with me? Maybe not. I kind of feel like it breaks up the gameplay a little too much, but is that a bad thing? Just kind of talk it out. I don't know. Vampire Survivors, at least initially, when you first play the game, before you learn about like the combinations of stuff that happen, you start feeling very, it feels very repetitive. And then you start learning about the combinations and then the depth that actually is there. And that kind of changes how the game actually feels and plays. But until you get to that point, yeah, it gets pretty repetitive. This breaks up the repetition a tiny bit, but I don't know if it's better for it. Interesting. That is for sure. I like this little blobby guy. He looks really cool. All right, ally, right. So let's give them something like ball lightning. Yeah, sure, that sounds great. Arc sword, stone shield. Arc sword is toss a sword depending on the direction you are facing. Upon landing, the sword remains on the ground for 5 seconds. If it ever passes through terrain or is picked up, the sword will be tossed again. Up to 5 swords can coexist per player that owns this skill. That sounds cool. I like that a lot. Oh, we got a boss. The High Priest. The hero is a powerful fighter that provides a significant amount of experience on death. Only one hero can challenge you per zone. To give you time to prepare, the hero will not act for a brief moment. The hero will not act for a brief moment. There needs more words there. Press the button on the bottom right to continue. Yeah, bring it on. Okay, cool. It's very interesting that you're getting like these little bosses. I kind of prefer this definitely to Vampire Survivors, because Vampire Survivors is a very interesting thing with the bosses where they just kind of come in at specific times. And they're not really bosses per se. There's been a couple other ones like, what was it called? Scarlet Tower or something like that we played on our first impressions that had some very interesting boss mechanics that would come in at set times. And that was fun. I liked that a lot. But I don't think I've seen one of these games do bosses in a way that I've like hyper enjoyed. This is definitely the best iteration of it so far. Let's give them a flamethrower, and we'll give myself arc sword. Yeah, what's this? Hone Heart Ring. Skills tagged as directional, now home towards a random enemy with low precision. Friendship Bracelet. Neutral skills have 7% chance to be cast twice. And then what was this other one? Tailwind. Dash speed is increased for each unique dash. Well, we don't have any dash skills, so let's level up, because we had 2 levels up. Level ups? We should probably upgrade Ball Lightning. And I'll take Ghost Blade. I mean, I kind of regret not giving him the wrong stuff, but I guess that is my bad. Let's take this ring. Let's see how that goes. I think this would be really cool co-op. And that is definitely the juice of the game. In a weird way, it reminds me of that. Oh my goodness, there's a game. It's like a beat 'em up game that I at least played on Xbox. It was on Game Pass for a while. It was like Full Metal Furies or something like that. It was a really cool game. I don't remember the name of it, but this actually kind of reminds me a little of it in a good way. Between art style and how some of the skills work, yeah. It's odd to be reminded of a game that is fairly different, all things considered. But honestly, I think it's actually because that game, the way that the co-op worked in that game kind of feels like it would work in this game. Let's give them attack 4 times rapidly in a direction you are moving. See, that's kind of interesting, but engulfing bite, stone shield. They probably could use a shield. I don't know, maybe. Let's get myself a cyclone upgrade. Who is this? Don't forget that you can reroll and banish skills. Yep. We got a bit of a shop here. We got 185 coins, so what's that? You and your ally recover lost HP. This is yeah, recovers. I think I would just normally hold on to it, but increase max HP by 10%, added HP is recovered. I think that's pretty good. So let's go back. I'm gonna go to outnumbered on this one, see how this goes. I feel like my oh my goodness. I feel like my melee skills are slightly too small. Like that whirlwind is really cool, but my goodness, it feels like a really tiny ability. I feel like it needs to be like triple that size. But it depends on how strong it is. It's hard to tell when I've got this other dude following me around. Actually, that's probably my biggest bit of feedback. I don't know how well I'm doing because my ally is doing a lot too. Gives them boomerang. And let's get a glint of steel. We got dice. Skills tagged as random will inflict anywhere from 9 to 90% additional damage. Oh, I love that. Skills tagged as interactive now are 50% bigger. Maybe can I check what my skills are? Is there a way to can I hover it? What is my cyclone? Neutral. So that's a neutral. That's a neutral. That's water. Neutral. Okay. Don't got anything. That'll work for that. Parasitic wasp. If an enemy inflicted with poison dies, a homing projectile is launched story. Well, let's just go with lucky dice because we don't have enough random. Oh, big old boss boy. Slime Queen. Big old boss lady. Oh my goodness, big slimes. Let's just avoid. Our guy can't take damage, so we just gotta play this as safe as possible. I don't want to get that sword. Pick that one up too. Ooh, took some damage there. Get that sword too. Oh my goodness, I'm like trying to like outrun this projectiles, but it's really hard to. I like it. I will say this. My favorite thing so far about this game is that the projectiles on the ground are telegraphed. Not only does it tell you what, like how big it is, and you know, how you can potentially not get hit by it, right, by avoiding it, but it also shows you the time on it. And I talk about this all the time when it comes to, oh my goodness, look at all these projectiles. Ay, ay, ay. All the time when it comes to games like this. WildStar, which is an MMO that I freaking loved, had one of the best mechanics for that, and it was called the telegraph system, where it would throw out like projected stuff on the ground, and it would tell you like, hey, this is, oh my goodness, this is like really intense, lots of dodging here. It would say like, you know, this is where the skill is going to land. This is the kind of skill that it will be, so you kind of know what you're trying to avoid, and then it would have like a countdown timer on it like that. And it was so clear, and it made for games that allowed you to play really difficult bosses because the game was being fair and teaching you what it was about to do to you. I love that. And even like heals, like big AoE heals and stuff that your players would do on your team would be like green little telegraphs on the ground. So you always knew what to be standing in and what not to. And they had a dodge roll and everything. It was a very difficult game because of that. But it was fun, and I want more games to do that, and this feels like it's learning from that a bit. Oh my goodness, we got so much coming in. Am I gonna beat this boss first try? Probably not. I feel like I'm getting a bit low here. We got dudes coming in. We got projectiles coming from both sides. I'm not really paying attention to the health bar, mostly because it's kind of hard to read at the bottom of the screen there. Oh my goodness. Like I would say I would prefer a health bar over the boss, but actually I don't think I do. Lost my character for a second there. I was looking at too many other things on the screen. I think I kind of like it the way it is. I don't really think that there's a better way to do it though. Oh my goodness, there's so many duders. And I keep running away from his fire, but I think it's my fire. It's one of our fires. There we go. We did it. Kill the slime. Ooh, got a conquered Jellywood Glade. Oh my goodness. Continue conquest? Do I go through? This seems like not like a smart idea. Oh, please choose one. Choose wisely. Okay, Cyclone gains. Wait, let's read all this. A gift from the Dark Lord, an evolution of your power. Chosen bonuses apply only to your character that selects them. Okay. So Cyclone gains 10% chance to inflict 1 stack of marked, or 20% chance to inflict 1 stack of bleed. I like the bleed. And then max HP plus 20, recover 3 HP when you enter a new area. That's pretty good. Reminds me of like Hades. Hades had some mechanics like that. Cyclone damage plus 3, critical damage plus 50%. Yeah, damn, that's really good. Trick shot now homes with medium precision, or 20% chance that trick shot gains plus 1 amount. Oh, we'll go with homing. Trick shot damage plus 2, critical hit rate 5%, movement speed minus 10%, or evasion 4%. Excuse me, movement speed 5%. Movement speed does not matter for our ally because they can't take damage, so works for me. And what does it do now? Does it like take us back to the main menu? Okay, so we go into a new area. Okay, so it's kind of like, it's taking some inspirations from Hades, which is really good. I like that a lot. What I want to see now is if I go to start and I go to skill tree. So now we have 85 points. Okay, so now we can start investing into some of this. So let's look. So what's this? Risk aversion, gain 7% by skill level, chance for an area to have its risk removed. That's interesting. Death and taxes, Chance for a coin to be a coin bag instead, which has 5 times the value. What's this? Thorn Soul. Whenever you are hit by colliding with an enemy, inflict damage upon all enemies equal to 50% by skill level of your current health. Interesting. Currency conversions, intensity, burning. So it's like burning here. There's just like basic flat upgrades on these. Fearless. This is really interesting. I like this a lot. Vampirism. When a boss... oh my goodness, that text needs to scale a little bit. When a boss is defeated, recover 20% HP. That's cool. Thrill of battle. When evading, recover +1 skill level HP. Okay. I like this a lot. This is kind of a cool way to do this. What would I do? I don't know. Because I'm not sure how I'd want to play the game yet. But I like this a lot. It's a cool concept. I think the game is super cool. Oh, can you like start with different elements? That's kind of cool. I wonder if there's other characters that you can unlock as you go through. But if you're interested in this game, link is in the description. You could go check it out for yourself. It is now released on Steam, so it's totally available for everybody to go play. But with that being said, if you're interested in this game and you found something kind of cool about it, let me know in the comments. And if you found something you didn't really like about it, also let me know in the comments, because I love listening to people's opinions on these games. I just find it very, very interesting. And then, of course, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you're subscribed, because I do one video every single day. And then if you want to share this video with more people, please hit the like button. Brings more people in for them to come and check this game out, potentially play with you, because we got a multiplayer game here that's just interesting. I kind of want to try the multiplayer aspect of it, but I feel like I get a fairly good idea of what the game is actually like, minus having the other player, which the other player would equal it having more fun involved with it. Not that the game isn't fun. I think it's pretty great. Is it the best Vampire Survivor clone? No, I think right now that goes with Geometry Survivor. I think that game is incredible and is the one that I would suggest if people have played Vampire Survivors and is looking for something a bit similar. But this is also a great addition to it. It's different. It's different in the ways that make it more interesting and accessible for different people, and it's got the multiplayer aspect, which a lot of these games don't have. I know Vampire Survivors does now. So yeah, there's different aspects to it that set it apart, that is for sure. But with all that being said, thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you all next time.